Morning. I'm Nancy Creed, president of the Springfield Regional Chamber, and it's so nice to be joined this morning for our coffee connection with Lisa Crinella, the vice president and area director of Hilton Garden Inn. Good morning, Lisa. How are you?
I'm great, Nancy. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. Thanks for joining me for the chat this morning.
Thank you for having me.
So first, let's start out. Tell me a little bit about yourself and your role at the Hilton Garden Inn.
Sure. I have been with Hilton for over 30 years.
Oh, wow.
Yep, I have opened many hotels, and um, 5 years ago, I came back to Springfield to run the Hilton Garden Inn in Springfield at the Basketball Hall of Fame, and also the Hilton Garden Inn in downtown Worcester. So it's been great. I'm from the area. I actually opened the Sheraton Springfield many years ago. It was my first job out of college. So
Okay.
yeah, so it's fantastic because I was in Connecticut, and being from the area, it's been fantastic to be back to my roots.
So looking back on those 30 years, is there like a most memorable moment, good or bad?
Um, there's just every day there's a moment in the hotel business. It's an amazing industry. Again, 9/11 is the only moment I can remember that has is close to being going through what we're going through with the pandemic. Um, and again, quite honestly, the going through COVID and how long this dark tunnel is continuing has just been a real challenge.
Yeah, the
So
whole hotel industry has been incredibly hard hit. So you were virtually closed in the beginning, except for essential workers, I think, and frontline. But then I think it was last June, phase two, you started to reopen. Talk to me about what it's been like the last year.
sure. So again, unprecedented change. It is with the gathering restrictions, revenue losses, again furloughs, um, meetings being canceled, everything being on hold. So we have our main focus just became on how can we keep our guests and our employees and team members safe, and how can we communicate all the safety protocols and changes that we have made to for them to come back and have peace of mind and feel safe. So that was immediately our focus. As soon as the pandemic hit, we again, I know the word pivot is used all the time, but it's really been a 360 on a daily basis. Um, Completely different mix of business than we were used to. This area was heavily dependent on groups. We had groups on the books constantly. So we had that base business and very, very busy property at the Basketball Hall of Fame. Um, and now, obviously, different mix of business. It's local, it's nurses, doctors, people that need to have the safety protocols put in place. So that
You
has been our focus.
you've made a significant investment at the Hilton Garden Inn in safety with like an air purification system, and you have certification. What is that all about?
Thank you for asking. Yes, Atmos Air is a uh, held, a ventilating system, bipolar ventilating system that is put into the hotel. So it is purifying the air that we're breathing. It's a significant investment into our ventilation system. So, in addition to COVID, other viruses, smoke, odors. So, it is cleaning the air we're breathing. And you actually come in, and it smells fresh. And
Hmm.
it's the same system and again, a significant investment. So the same system that SpaceX has, the military, major airports, but immediately that was the type of changes we were going to make. Because, we're going to get out of this, but I believe our industry will be changed for the better. And it was something that needed to be focused on. So we really took that wellness and safety going forward forever. So, I
What
mean,
kind of
eventually,
changes? Sorry, go ahead.
yeah, no, the changes just, I mean, eventually the masks will come off, the plexiglass will come down, but again, it's still going to have the atmosphere ventilation system programmed. Will um, we'll be moving forward with curbside services. I don't think there's a lot of things that our industry has done, even in, and I'm also including restaurant, will continue in the future in a good way. So
And
a lot.
so curbside, tell me about that. Because I don't consider like a hotel to be able to do curbside
Yeah,
services.
yeah, and again, we are attached to Uno, so that's what does our dinner in our room service. Our breakfast, internally, we do when gatherings stop. We still had to feed our guests, so we went to boxed breakfast, and then you expand on your offerings from your boxed breakfast to people who want hot items included, and then you get into again, we're open to the public, so I have so many people wanting to get into the hotel to have breakfast in our beautiful lobby that
Hmm.
aren't hotel guests. So again, we we can do, and again, same thing with our meetings. We still continue to have meetings socially distanced, following gathering protocols, and we still need to feed them. So yeah, a lot of changes that we never thought of or even had to do in the past, and those things will continue. And
Interesting. Thank you for mentioning that because I don't think I would have ever thought of that. You just think heads in beds.
yeah, yeah. No, we had again with the winds, we have EverSource and um, utility companies that need to be on the road by 5 o'clock in the morning. So they have their breakfast and their lunch provided, and they hit the road. And so again, we've made all kinds of accommodations. Whatever the mix of business needs are, we're there to solve their problems. So,
And how are things now? I know Massachusetts still has a travel order, but it's starting to ease up on that. Are you seeing more out of state travel yet, or is it still really like local and in state?
with the vaccines, now we've seen much more international and out of state coming back, and people again have wonderful responses to the protocols we've had. They do feel very safe. Um, they appreciate, again, we wanted to keep our pool open with the gathering restrictions, so we've had to restrict who goes into the pool what time, our gym, and then clean it right after. So again, made all kinds of accommodations to keep services open but keep it safe. So
And you
we
you see people amenable to that.
absolutely, we have customer surveys that go out to every guest that stays here, and we ask, how do you feel we're doing to combat the pandemic? And it's been fantastic responses, and right down to the obviously the cleaning protocols. We have digital key where you don't even have to stop at the desk and use a key. You can check into your room with your phone. We have touch points. The remote control is covered, so when you get into your guest room, and there's a seal before you walk in saying that everything has been sanitized, and all the high touch points, there's a checklist that you never thought about your remote or all these different areas that are high touch points. So those won't go away, because customers really appreciate that. So
It's
um,
all these, we've all had to realize just how many times you open a door or flick a light switch or touch your remote. So, and kudos to you guys for, making sure that health and safety is your top priority.
yes, thank you.
So there's a lot of talk about a vaccine passport,
Hmm.
having hotels and the travel industry, tourism require that. Have those conversations started to happen at the Hilton Garden Inn?
Um, yeah, and again, just like the travel orders, we are following all the procedures and protocols. So if that will be fantastic if that goes into play. Again, we need to get the airport safe and people traveling again to feel peace of mind. So we will support any and promote whatever comes down to give people that peace of mind so they can start traveling again. They want to. I said there is conventions and meetings, and they just wait for the governor to speak, and then have to pull back when. So
Yeah. And
when
one
it does happen, they're going to be here, and again, it's our obligation to keep them safe.
and one last pandemic question, Lisa. How long do you think it will take the hotel industry to recover from this?
Again, if I had a crystal ball, again, I can't believe it's a year. No one thought it would be a year. So again, the vaccine program and it's happening fast. It's happening faster than I expected. I thought it was going to be 2 years, and now I said, we're seeing business coming back in July quickly, and again, we have functions on the books April, May, every month. So they just keep having to cancel if the virus takes a bad turn. So again, it's about the vaccines and about people continuing to stay safe.
Well, great. So I'm going to pivot a little bit.
Mhm.
You are also involved in the Western Mass Businesses Against Human Trafficking.
Mhm.
And the chamber is part of that. And I think you might have been one of the first businesses to actually get on board. Tell me a little bit about that and why you felt it was important to participate.
Sure, sure. It is. It's everybody's human right to be safe, and in the hotel industry, we have our eye on what's going on in unfortunately in that realm of the world that most people. It's actually a very uncomfortable topic for many businesses to openly talk about, and the city. You just don't want to think about human trafficking. And in our industry, Hilton we all support understanding knowledge, training our staff, uncovering suspicious behavior. It's so again, I have always supported it, and in the hotel, if there is anything suspicious, I have my contacts with the police department and the human trafficking, um, and we uncover it. And um, we don't want our city to be known for anything dangerous like that. And to support the city's safety is, I feel, all of our responsibility. But if people are unaware that human trafficking happens everywhere, and they don't report suspicious behavior, it's going to perpetuate. So we ensure that all my staff is trained on an annual basis, and anything suspicious gets reported to me.
Yeah, you really have taken a leadership role on that issue here. So thank you again. Speaking of leaders, so I saw a video of you, I think it was Easter, where you were leading the Easter Bunny and a
Oh,
group of women at the Ronald McDonald House in a little dance party. Tell me about it.
yes. So that was, and again, if you can do anything in this new world that we're in, was to get outside the box and do things that you've never done. So TikTok is so popular. So um, I combined with the Sheridan and the Easter Bunny, and we learned a TikTok dance that was very popular. And yes, we went to Bay State and Ronald McDonald House and many other places, and we tried to bring some smiles to children and some of the doctors and nurses, and it was quite a success and a lot of fun. So yes, I am on TikTok. with the
And are you going viral now?
we didn't go viral, but maybe this Easter we can up ourselves from last year. So I can't believe that was almost a year ago. So thanks for reminding me. I didn't know you saw that video. Thought that was a secret.
No, Facebook is the world's worst secret keeper.
Yes, yes. Yeah.
So since we're talking about leadership, has there been someone in your life that has mentored you or inspired you and kind of pushed you to where you are today?
Actually, I have lots of mentors throughout my life, and they actually change too based on what's happening in my life. So I've been very fortunate. I seek out positive people, I think, that can bring something different into my life. So I don't particularly have one, I have many. And it might be my exercise or my spiritual or my technology or my dance partners. Oh, yeah, I've had many. Yes, very
And
few.
looking back over the years, what advice would you give to the next generation of folks trying to get into your industry?
Yeah, I guess what I've really learned this year is just to embrace change. Um, there's a lot of people that just can't handle change, and what I've learned is you've got to find the silver lining in whatever challenge is presented with you. Again, you're going to constantly have change, so you have to really embrace it and look for the opportunity in the challenges.
I think we all have learned that lesson this year.
Yes.
Thank you, Lisa. Appreciate you joining me this morning for our chat. Nice to see you again, Lisa Crinella, Vice President and Area Director of Hilton Garden Inn. Thanks,
And
Lisa. Have a great day.
thank you very much for all you do. We appreciate it.
Thank you.